Hello, everybody. This is Todd with Duct Tape Hanger again. We're going to start pulling that engine on that P-40. We're going to get that off of there, maybe get the firewall glued up and pinned. And that's going to be the major of the work, which really isn't that bad. Should be ready for another remaiden pretty quickly. And we'll go from there. So first thing we're going to have to do is pull this motor. It's a Zenoa G62. It's an old reliable engine that they just run and run and run. You can't hardly hurt them. So we're going to disconnect the throttle line here. On there, I'm going to pull the fuel line. Oh, still got a little fuel in it, so I'm going to do this. Keep from dumping fuel everywhere. That should be okay. We'll check it here in a minute and see if it's still dripping. So let's see here. Set that up there. We're going to set that right back on there for now. I need to get a bolt, plug that up, so I don't have fuel everywhere. Just a little bit left in the tank or in that line probably that's going to run out. And I really don't want it all over the house. So we're going to lock that. Oh, looks like I got some bolts laying over here. And one of those should do it. That should do it. There we go. Yeah, she's not leaking. All right. Went ahead and got my 3/16 socket here. One of these nice little ratchet bolts here. And start taking some of these bolts out. Loosen them up here. It does look like I need to put some bigger washers behind it too. And that'll help from some of the damage it did back here in the back. Plus I'm going to glue another plate down here once I get it in there. Close. Let's see here. Close is coming out. There we go. One kind of vibrated loose here. I thought I Loctited these, but I might have forgot. Oh, it looks like I did. Looks like I forgot it. Set that down there. Let's see. This bottom one, how did I get that before? Did I use an extension? I might have. Let's see what my small extensions are. Let's see what we got. I usually try to get all the tools and stuff ready before I start a project, but obviously I didn't do that. Can't make it too easy. So, let's see here. All right. Guess I'll pause it till I grab all the tools that I need. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I got the right combo now. I always tape these on. For some reason, these don't like to stay in, these little extensions. I use a little blue painter's tape on everything, but these little extensions here do not like to stay in. So I went ahead and I'll just put a piece of tape around it. That keeps me from fighting it. I'm already fighting enough. I don't want to mess with that. So Break that one loose. That ratchet works very well. Try this other one. That feels better. I think that other ratchet's about shot. Get in here and get this motor pulled. That feels better. I'm going to go around here to the back side. Might work a little better. I'm going to slide this out so I can get in there. One bad part about having airplanes everywhere is they're always in the way, one way or another. Not a lot of room in here. There's another little bulkhead in here in the way. Man, does it get in the way. Well, this is not being any fun. Well, come on now. See if I can turn that by hand. Without that. Nope, I sure can't. I'm only getting about 1/8 of a turn at a time here on this. This one's going to take a while. Well, I think what I'll do, I'll pause this. Once I get the motor off, we'll go from there, because this obviously isn't very entertaining to watch. All right, the G62 is off. Now we're going to start assessing some of our damage. This was obviously a very clean break over here. It just kind of pulled out. Our biggest problem is going to be what's on the backside. And that's where the washers kind of pulled through and broke some of that wood. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to laminate another piece here in the back, and I'll get you in here. You guys can see the damage, what I'm talking about. See how those washers and my bolts kind of pulled through. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sandwich another piece of plywood in there behind it once I get this firewall in and re-epoxied. I'm going to probably run some pins, drill some pins through here and pin it, dowel rod pins. Will probably be what I end up doing with that. And that way I can strengthen that up a bit. I might go at an angle through some of this triangle stock and pin it, go all the way through and pin it once I get it epoxied. And I can do it from both sides. There's triangle on both sides here, all the way around except for the top. The bottom has some on the inside. I can drill at angles and pin it. Probably 1/8 inch dowel and epoxy that in, and that will help get that back in there. I'm going to use a little, the old Tanya Harding here and tap that back in. Tap back in. That gets it very close. That gets me very close on that to lining back up. So that at least lets me know I can get in there. I'm going to tap it back out. I'm going to cover this on 30 minute. I'm going to cover these brakes back here in the back in 30 minute, because even those kind of went all back together. See in there, that stuff kind of lined back up. I'm going to probably put another 3/16 of aircraft ply like I did with this spacer, this nice 3/16 plywood here. I'll probably put another one of these in there, and that way on the back side we can kind of sandwich that firewall in and strengthen it up, plus pinning it. So I think that'll be good on the firewall. So let's mix up some epoxy, let's tap that back out, and let's get her coated. Then we'll tap her back in. I'm going to find some C-clamps so I can clamp it and squeeze it back in there and keep her tight. All right, I'll be right back when I'm ready for that. All right, what we're going to do here is we are going to cut this, trace this out. Oh, I'm sorry. Trace this out. We're going to go a little smaller. This is going to go on the back side of the firewall. We're going to trace this out. It's going to go a little smaller because of the triangle stock on the back side. You can see this where I cut out the other one, or whichever way I did it. But it's where I cut out the other one. It's 3/16 aircraft ply. So we're going to go in just a little bit. I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch. We're going to trace this right on this 3/16. That's going to be good enough. So that's going to be our back side. So we're going to make a little noise here. It got us a little smaller. That should fit real nice in between those, between that triangle stock that's back there. We're going to do a little test fit, and we'll be back and we'll drill it. All right, I forgot about the bottom triangle stock inside the firewall on the back side, so I got to cut off a little bit to clear that. Tell my cut lines wouldn't pass a field sobriety test, so that's all right. They're not that straight, but nobody's going to see it on the backside of the firewall. Okay, that fit pretty nicely. I'm going to show you how I'm going to trace out my lines so I can get this drilled. We're going to set this in there. We're going to hold it nice and tight. We took the pin apart so we can get in here, and we can draw our circles right on it. This will get us close enough to where we can take a look at it here. Right there we are. Not far off center though. Let's take a look here. I might change that. I might flip this over. Let's see here. Get her nice and centered. That looks a little better. Let's try this side. Got in a hurry. See if this looks better. Yeah, I like that better. Looks better than off-centered. So we'll go top and put front. That way I know where I'm at. All right, now we'll drill those out. All right, we're going to go ahead and drill these out. Get this kind of centered up here where I like it. went with a little bit of an oversized bit. And let's just see how good these line up. Hey, that looks pretty good. Might be off a hair, but I can clean them up once it's in. Once I get that in there. So I'll clean up the backside here a little bit. Got some little flakes. Get them. All right, on to the next step. All right, I just mixed up some 30-minute epoxy. We're going to go ahead and start lathering some of this on there. Be generous with it. Epoxy is relatively cheap. And don't be afraid to use it. You know what? I am going to move my radio just in case I get a little drippy here. I have done that before, and that never works out well. This thing is still dripping a little bit, so we're going to flip this up here somewhere. There we go. The tank's kind of up above, so it wants to gravity back down in. All of this, just coat all of this. 30-minute, gives you time to work with it. Get in there and all that break. And get you a good amount on there. I like using a lot of pieces of scrap wood. You can get in here, really get in there and coat that stuff. Use the tools you have. The bottom here too, same thing. Get that coated. You're not going to hurt any of it. You are not. Get in here as far as you can. Now, on the back side, I want to get into all these little cracks and crevices. See if I can bring you around here and you can see it. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, you can kind of see in there a little bit. Get a nice little glob of epoxy. Get down in there around all those cracks and splits. Like I say, we're going to put another piece of plywood in there behind it and laminate it and strengthen it. So it'll be all right in the long run. We'll be okay. Try to get anything that I see, any kind of wood showing here. Anything that I think I need to put a little epoxy on. Get down in there, that little split. Because once we use the old persuasion tool to tap that back in, we'll get pretty close, and then we're going to use some clamps to help lock that in. And there's a little bit up top. And it's almost the perfect mix, it looks like. I'm just about out of epoxy. You want to coat anything that's got a crack, split, get in there. You don't want to have any issues there. Let me see a little bit down here. Let's see if I can get in there. Like I say, we're still going to drill it and pin it once this epoxy sets. So we're going to use the old persuasion tool. And that will get us close. Oops. Knocking the camera around you. Sorry, guys. Let me get this in a better view here so you can see what I'm doing. That firewall will start to line up. You're going to see a lot of that epoxy oozing out. So, I'm going to grab some clamps. And, slide out of the way. get some C-clamps on here. And we are going to tighten this up. Ooh, let's see here. I might have to do this the other way around. Ooh, maybe that won't work. Well, that sounded good. Oh, I can do it here. I can do it right up top here. You're going to see that squeeze right in there. Oop, I got to bring that back up a little bit here. You're going to see the excess epoxy oozing out of her. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine on that. That way we know we got plenty in it. Let's see if I can do this one. This might work. Go at an angle here on this. Oh yeah, it will. There we go. All right. That looks pretty nice and square. Looks pretty good. We got plenty of epoxy coverage in there. Looks pretty good here on the back side. I'm going to take my stick in there and clean up some of that epoxy and get it back up in there. I got time to work with it. So let's do that. Oh, I got this all tangled up. I charge my phone while I do this, otherwise it just completely kills it. And I've got the charge cord all wrapped around it. So that keeps things interesting too. Nothing like a good 2-bit operation. There we go. Smear some of that epoxy up there. Got plenty of excess. We can get it right up in there. That's looking pretty good, really. Firewall was really not in bad shape. It just pulled right out of the block here, kind of split where the washers were. I'm definitely going to use a lot bigger washer on the back side of this other plate. And when I sandwich that in, it'll strengthen her up nice too. We got epoxy dripping all over here. Let's make sure we got plenty in there. Like Bob Ross says, make some happy little paintings with it. Make some happy little trees, I guess. Go ahead and get in there. And I grew up watching Bob Ross. I even bought his paint kit one time, and I realized as easy as he makes it look, I am not a painter. I really wanted to be. I always thought that was going to be something. Get right into painting, and I don't have too many artistic talents in any sense of the word. And I'm not very talented at anything, really. Building. I do like to build plastic model cars. Even that, I watch these guys on YouTube that are YouTube and some of the Facebook groups and stuff. They are so good. I don't know if it makes me feel better or worse about what I do, but man, are they good. They can make a model car look like a real one. All right, we're clamped. Now we just got to do the drying process. I probably won't do anything again till tomorrow. And like I say, we're going to drill at angles here, probably both front and back, and drill through and pin that. We'll probably put 3 on each side at least, front and back, 1/8-inch dowel rod. We'll put it in there, use a Dremel, cut it off. It'll be no problem. That'll get her pinned up to all this other material that's on the sides and strengthen up whatever could have been loose. So now we're just in the drying process. So guys, we are all set. I appreciate it. Hope you're entertained by some of these videos, and maybe you might even learn something. But also, take any advice I give with a grain of salt. I am not a professional. I just try to do it the best of my ability. I'm sure there are plenty of you watching that are way better at a lot of stuff I do, and I'm happy for you. I'm just a hillbilly flying airplanes, man. I just have fun with it. Looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to go down to Air Power down at Muncie. I'm going to take my GB. It's ready to go, and probably just my 110-inch span PT19. I'm not going to drag the trailer. I was going to take the Tiger Moth, but I really don't want to drag the trailer just to bring wings. And probably save that plane for another day. But all right, guys, I appreciate it. I'm going to take a bunch of video down there as well and maybe interview a few guys, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, you have a good day, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, bye.